So welcome back to another episode of Inside Access Control, sponsored by SIA. Very excited today to have Rick Caruthers with me. He's the president of Galaxy Systems. Rick, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us.
No, you're welcome. We're happy to do so.
Yeah, no, it's I know things are busy right now and crazy, so anytime I can have anybody a set amount of time with somebody, I'm very appreciative. So before we jump into Galaxy and what differentiates you all and the story behind it, can you give me a little bit of background on yourself?
So this year I celebrate my 19th year with Galaxy. I worked prior to coming to Galaxy for a Galaxy integrator. So I've been around the product since 1990, either selling it as with an integration company or as an employee of the company. And so aside from a couple of years in the IT space, my entire career has been in the security industry. I worked for an integrator for 8 years. I had my own. I was partnered with a little small security company that we did for a couple of years, and then moved into the manufacturing side.
So tell us a little bit about Galaxy and what separates you all, and because there's a rich history there as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, Galaxy's been around since 1985 as Galaxy. We are a sister company to Digital Systems Corp, which to this date, Lee, only exists on paper. That was our original company that started in '74. Initially, Digital Systems started out as a mini mainframe builder here in Frederick. And we built products for the federal government, and actually got a task order from the Army to build an access control product. Wow. And built this in the early 80s, delivered it, and then the group got together and said, well, if the Army's buying these things, maybe that's something we should do. And they spun off this little division called Galaxy Control Systems and started signing up rep firms, and that's kind of how we got in where we are today. So over the years, Digital Systems, we've had about 30 different companies that we've brought up and did something that someone asked us to do. We're an engineering company primarily at heart, and then they would let it go. I mean, one thing that was kind of interesting, we built the first video capture card for a Macintosh in like '82. And this is like the old Macs, but we built it for a customer. The customer said, I have this canning system. I can fruits and vegetables over here in Hagerstown. And he said, I want to be able to capture barcodes as they go by so I can get an accurate inventory count of what we produced that day. He had a Macintosh that he used for his accounting, and we created a video capture card. Took it to a Mac symposium, and I think they sold it to Macintosh for a couple $100. I mean, we were done with it. So a lot of things like that happened out of this company, but I guess what really separates Galaxy from, and I'm not saying separates it from others, but what we do best, we feel, is customer service. You still have live people that talk to you. Our employees do tech support. These are people inside the walls of Galaxy. You call the number, you get a live person. Every person in the company's cell phone numbers are on the website. My phone rings, I answer the phone. We empower our people to do the right thing for our customers. And by the right thing means whatever it takes to make the situation better for that end user or for that dealer. So that's what we do. I always say that at the end of the day in the access control world, if you unlock a door, you're doing what the access control end user expects you to do.
Right.
But it's what happens when the door doesn't unlock? What happens when you're having problems? How do you react? Putting people on planes, going on site, going the extra mile for the dealers. I think that's what sets us apart. But another thing that I think we're proud of is, the fact that we do have long-term employees. Of the 40 people that are employed at Galaxy, the average employment now is probably somewhere hovering around 20 years. So we don't run through a lot of people. There's longevity there. There's you understand, that I can call there tomorrow and get the technical guy that I've dealt with for the last number of years. So that kind of adds into what we feel like is one of the things that we're unique about the company.
Very nice. It's good to hear. It's a nice, rich history, and it's especially you build a reputation over the years, and I know your organization has a good one. So it's good to hear where it comes from. I guess so. With recent news of everything that's going on, we'd love to know how are you all doing? You coping? What are you doing to differentiate? I guess because it's a lot harder now, especially if you have such a fine touch on people to be. You're not getting on airplanes and going to do that. So And then I would say, let's put lens on of, we're going to get through this, that conversation, and how you see things progressing coming out of this crisis, especially been around for a while. You've seen the ups and the downs, right? So
Right.
a lot of this stuff is not new to you and your company. I mean, this is a little bit different, but still, if all things being equal, how do you see things shaping coming out of this?
Well, the one thing that we had, and we were faced early on, maybe a little earlier than some, with some crisis. I mean, the crisis really hit us kind of early. We had a processor chip that we've bought for years on one of our door reader module boards. We were notified, in January that due to the corona, due to the fact that our component manufacturer in Malaysia that we buy these chips from, they couldn't get their raw parts out of China to build, and we were stuck with, we operate under just-in-time manufacturing types of philosophy, and that's a great thing sometimes for inventory in the books. But when you get called on like a Monday that says, we don't have any more chips for you, and we're not going to have any more till April, that kind of puts you in a spin, because we didn't have enough sitting on the shelf to maintain us. Because we build our own products, and I guess the point of what I mentioned that because we build everything in-house, because we are building our own hardware, we were able to pivot, start working on we already had a new board in the works. We were going to introduce it this fall. It was going to be an OSDP version of that door reader module with a few more enhancements. That went from let's get it done in the fall to let's get it done now. So we had to really ramp and go quickly on that, but thankfully we started getting our chips back in ahead of schedule, and so that was kind of one of the things that we had to overcome. As what we're doing here, it has been different. We put everybody out. I mean, we're a manufacturer, and maybe we're being impacted a little differently than others because we're not buying our boards from other people. So we still have physical manufacturing going on in the building. We don't provide that. If we don't build those boards, we can't ship it. It's not like we're getting our boards in from someone else and we just got to flash them and put them out the door. We've got to keep people operational. So what we needed to do, we needed to empty this building out of people that we felt like could work remotely, customer service, accounting. All the tech support guys now are remote. Give them the equipment that they need to get home to, and we already had our tech support guys set up for that remote access at home, because our tech support is 24/7, 7 days a week, 365. There are guys that leave here and they're on call that night. If they get a call from Saudi Arabia at 2 a.m, they answer the call and they have all the equipment they need to support it right there. So we were kind of already prepared for that. And it's been kind of interesting. We had to stagger our manufacturing to where, we're socially distancing everybody. We did staggered shifts to where, people working in different areas, so they're not all in the same assembly line or not all in the same thing. So we've worked some staggered shifts out. We're taking care of what we consider those are essential workers. So, we're doing everything that we can do. Company provided masks and washing breaks, whatever they feel like they need to do to keep through this and to keep it safe. But now, we've gone down from 40 people in the building on a normal day to at the most 5 or 6. I'm coming in every day. I'm not going to expect employees to be in the building operating and I'm not going to be there. So that's kind of changed a little bit. Sales, it's amazing. March was a fantastic month, which exceeded last year's numbers. April it looks like, today closes April. It's going to be another great month of sales. We're getting orders domestically. We're getting orders internationally. Now, some of our international hotspots, normally where we sell a lot of product, Middle East, the Gulf region, that's slowed down quite a bit. But we had a very nice project that just went out the door for 300 and some readers to go into Thailand this week. We had another one in Georgia that we shipped yesterday for 400 readers. So, it just seems like when I'm talking to the dealers, some are extremely busy, others are working through their pipeline and they don't know what's going to happen at the end. And others are just, reporting that it's kind of remote business as usual, I guess. So, we're hoping at the end of the day, when we all come out of this, I think we're going to realize we're at a point here at Galaxy where we're running out of space. But now I'm thinking maybe we don't run out of space. Maybe we can stagger, shared offices and people can work at home more. So I think you're going to see a little bit more of that. And that makes for happier people. And that's what we're about is, making our employees, happy and safe. And that's been our whole goal throughout all this.
Do you think on that, because that's actually an interesting topic that a lot of people have been talking about, and I'd love you to take your take. If that is, if you're doing it, that means that other people are going to do it and thinking about it too, right? So how do you think that that's going to impact our business? Because we want more buildings with more people going into them, right?
Right.
To put more locks and keys
Yeah,
and
sure.
credentials and everything. So how do you see that impacting our business, or do you think?
Well, I know one thing that we are finding with this current with the states locking down non-essential, what to consider non-essential businesses, we have had an increased interest in our cloud offering, and we've had a lot more of our traditional on-premise customers that have a Galaxy server sitting there running the local software. We've had a good number of those convert to cloud in these last 7 weeks that we've been under lockdown, because you find a business owner is sitting now locked away from his facility, not knowing what the status of the building is, and just that uneasiness of not knowing what's going on there. So I think we're going to see some of that migrate. I don't think we're ever going to get to the point of where everyone is working at home. So I'm not too concerned about that. Because there's obviously we're in a lot of verticals. We're in manufacturing, we're in pharmaceutical, we're in multi-tenant office space. So I do believe you're going to see that now, in the commercial rental business. I mean, who knows how much, that's going to be affected with people realizing that they can move some of their staff off. I do think it's important to have, and especially here as well, I don't ever see us going to a complete home model. It's very important to us and to me that we have our team there. We include a lot of people in meetings that most people maybe in other organizations wouldn't include. If we're going to build a new product, I'll bring the tech support guys in. I'll pull them off the phones and let them tell me what they're hearing from the field. Where in other organizations, that's done at a CTO level and a high level executives that says, we're going to build it and we think this is the way it should be and here's what you got. So collaboration is very important to us. Having people to be able to walk across the hall that says, hey, I'm facing this issue. What do you know, or what do you can help me with? So I think we want to keep that intact, and I think we will. But I do believe it's going to be different and when we come out of this, and who knows what the new norm is when we come out of this.
Yeah, I wish if I had a crystal ball, I wish I know too. But yeah, I think the summary of it's going to be different is definitely how it's going to be. Question before we wrap on this is there anything that you or in Galaxy are looking for?
Well, I mean, we're looking for we're going to have a couple new positions posted out on the website. We're going to be strengthening our cloud team here soon, growing to the point now we're going to need more technical support folks that dedicate to the cloud. And that's one thing that we've done. Instead of just having a tech support number to call in, we have a dedicated tech support cloud team that concentrates and specifically on that. So we're going to have some, job openings coming. So in this time, we're hoping that there might be some employees out there that have been displaced, and we have an opportunity to kind of pick up some good talent and bring them into the family here.
If people are looking to get a hold of you, what's the best way to do that?
1-800-445-5560 is the 800 number. GalaxySYS.com is the website. And they can always, under contact us. I mean, if they want to call me directly, my numbers are on there. So that's probably the best means. But if they want to take a drive and come to sunny Walkersville, Maryland, then come on by.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to doing it myself once all this thing's done. So, well, Rick, thank you very much for taking the time. I appreciate you sharing the story, your insights. Like you said, this company's been around for a while, doing a lot of good stuff, really good customer service. So appreciate you doing that. So thank you.
You're welcome.